Hello, Jacob here, and I have a new jersey pickup. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So yeah, this particular jersey, I was browsing through eBay, and for whatever reason recently, I've been really on a Broncos jersey kick, more so ironically than anything. Just so happened to be what I found at the time, considering I'm a Vikings fan and all that stuff. But as I've mentioned before, the Broncos are slowly but surely turning into my favorite AFC team to root for, so kind of has that going for it. Also helps when you visit the stadium and all that stuff, which again, as I said before, and I'll keep saying, if you ever get the chance to go to a professional sports stadium, do it. Take tours. It is amazing, the stories, the players, everything you see, and just the overall history. Because a lot of these players kind of help mold, their particular leagues into what they are today. So yeah, back to the jersey. This particular jersey I got off of eBay for, with everything included, discounts and all that stuff, $15. And again, the reason why I mentioned this price is because, this particular player's jersey, you'll see why in a second. Let's just say this particular Broncos player, one of the more polarizing figures, not just sports figures, but people in general, over the last, I'd say, 10 years, but primarily 2011. So that is your hint right there. And I figure before I babble on too much further, I'll just go ahead and show off exactly who I'm talking about. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're guessing, bam! Sir Timothy Tebow, you'd be correct. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is a Denver Broncos Tim Tebow jersey that I got on eBay for $15. And as you can see here, some of the features are the 15, which is double stitched, the Broncos sewn on there, the NFL equipment shield. And again, this is a made in Vietnam. See if it'll focus here. Yep, made in Vietnam. The jock tag. The side numbers. Oh. Tebow single stitched on the sewn down nameplate with the double stitch 15 on the back. So yeah, as I said before, this particular Broncos Tebow jersey I got for $15. And also kind of in closing here, Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. I'd have to say probably one of the biggest one-hit wonders, maybe of all time in the NFL. Because, let's be honest here, Tim Tebow's numbers weren't the greatest. In fact, he was towards the bottom in most of quarterback, ratings and completions, attempts, yards, blah, 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 blah. But for whatever reason, the guy must have had, the help of, the Holy Ghost, the Spirit, Mary Magdalene, Jesus Christ himself. I mean, he could pull miracles out of his ass. And with all that being said, helped guide the Broncos to an 8-8 record back when the AFC West was just, yeah, but that's a different issue. 2011 was a very interesting year. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember, that was the year the Broncos went 8-8, winning the division. And the Seahawks went 7-9. But anyway. Yeah, so, and of course, the Tebow time, as it was called, Tebow time, probably the biggest stint was that playoff game against the Steelers, when he threw that big touchdown to Demaryius Thomas. Now, I will say, it wasn't all just Tebow that won those games for the Broncos, because they had a lot of good defensive pieces and a really young core at the time. Von Miller was in his rookie year. Elvis Dumervil was a very good pass rusher for them. Champ Bailey, Hall of Famer, So they had some core guys on defense That would help out too. And of course, Demaryius Thomas, Eddie Royal, Willis McGahee. Granted, he was towards the end of his career, but still, I mean, they had some decent weapons for Tebow. And, well, for the Broncos in general during that time. Even if that time for the Broncos, well, really wasn't all that memorable. Let's just be honest here. But yeah, so before I babble on too much further here, also stay tuned because I might, well, see what happens with the championship games and kind of give my overall preview for the Super Bowl and who I think is going to win the Super Bowl out of whoever wins the conference championships. So stay tuned for that. And this is Jacob signing out. Have a good night.